A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke, chapter 19, verses 45 to 48. The passage is taken from the Message version of the Bible. Going into the temple, he began to throw out everyone who had set up shop, selling everything and anything. He said, "It's written in Scripture, 'My house is a house of prayer.' You have turned it into a religious bazaar." From then on, he taught each day in the temple. The high priests, religious scholars, and the leaders of all people were trying their best to find a way to get rid of him. But with the people hanging on every word he spoke, they couldn't come up with anything. The Gospel of the Lord.
Reflection according to St. Luke chapter 19 verses 45 to 48. Beware of the holy bribe. The Temple of Jerusalem, made of stones, expressed the religious structure of Israel. In the minds of many, the temple is the central point and physical embodiment of their entire religious and cultural system. An assault on the temple was an act of violence against Israel and an act of violence against God. The temple authorities spread a false understanding of God among their people. The ordinary people were taught a distorted view of God through a false catechism. They promoted the idea that God could be appeased through material offerings and sacrifices. Jesus exposes their hypocrisy by asking for a coin. Offerings in the temple could not be made with coins bearing the image of a pagan emperor. Hence, they had the money changers inside the temple premises. They had no objection in having money-changing booths inside the temple premises. To maintain the temple's ritual purity, the devotees had to buy sacrificial animals from the temple. No wonder the place of prayer had soon turned into a market. By driving out the traders, Jesus symbolically stopped the faulty and misleading sacrificial activities within the temple. The message is relevant for us Christians today because the temple symbolizes the church. Churches will always be tempted by power and worldliness. This is not a power that comes from Jesus. A den of robbers is what Jesus calls it because the temple authorities cheated the poor. Pope Francis says, there is always the temptation of corruption within the church. If we allow ourselves to be seduced by money and power instead of fidelity to Jesus, the Lord of peace, joy, and salvation, we will fall into this trap. The priests and leaders in the church may not directly do business in the church, but they may be connected to the people who actually do the business. This connection may bring them a profit, by allowing them to do business even in the holy places. The Pope calls it the holy bribe. Each of us faces this daily struggle, as does the church, to always cling to his every word, to hear what he says, and to never seek security in material wealth and powers. After all, you cannot serve two masters, either God or riches, God or power.